Hello and welcome. Today is Monday, February 7th. My name is Beverly. I'm a psychic healer. And basically, what that means is I have the ability to tune into your energy. I have the ability to read and scan and sense your energy. And from that place, I have the ability to clear away any kind of blocks that might be in your way so that you can live a more fulfilling, joyful, life that you would like to manifest. Welcome everyone who is here on YouTube and anyone who is here on TikTok. Today we're going to be talking about um, spirituality and what that looks like. But before we do, I today's Monday, so I focus a little bit on meditation. Hello. Um, I want to focus today on meditation. Today is Monday, so Monday meditation. If you've never meditated before, it's very simple. I'm going to be guiding us through this meditation, and all you have to do is just kind of follow along. Allow yourself to relax into the meditation. Allow yourself to feel and experience and think whatever comes up for you. Okay, so with that being said, if you could just take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. Take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. One more time. Take a deep breath out. Now I want you to imagine Mother Earth's energy coming up to the base of your feet. Allow this energy to flow up through your legs, your hips, your spine, your neck, your tongue, relaxing your jaw, relaxing your cheeks, your forehead, and allow this energy to come up and out of your crown. And imagine yourself going into this energy and allow yourself to be lifted up by this energy above the trees, the mountains, the stars, the galaxy, up and up and up, through many layers of lights, through a golden light, through a jelly like substance, through a pink light. And I want you to imagine that there's a window. Flow through the window, and you are now in a tingly white light. Continue to flow up higher and deeper into this tingly white light. Higher and deeper into this tingly white light. Continue to flow up higher and deeper into this tingly white light. Now I'm going to offer us the space to sit in this unconditional love that surrounds you and that's within you at this moment. Being perfect. It's allowing whatever needs to come through and whatever needs to come up and out to show up for you. Become aware of your feelings. Become aware of any sensations in or around your body. And when you are ready, I want you to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Imagine yourself going back into your body and allow yourself to open your eyes when you feel ready. How was that meditation for everyone? How did that feel for you? Let us know in the chat box or the comment box, how did that feel for you? And if you want to if you want to do this meditation again, you're more than welcome to just watch my replay over at Dreamy Bev on YouTube. Someone here on San Francisco on TikTok is saying that they feel calm. Yeah, I feel more at ease as well. And this also opens us up to today's discussion. When you meditate, similar to spirituality, um, when you meditate, to me, it's not about being perfect. It's not about sitting perfectly. It's not about thinking nothing. It's not about um, the how. It's not about um, that it needs to be this or it needs to be that. Meditation to me is the art of allowing. It's 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 allowing yourself to show up, and whatever is presented to you in that moment, it's all a part of your experience. So if you find meditating and you have all these thoughts in your mind, or you're meditating and there's noise in the background, it's all part of that experience in that moment. And do you have the ability to hold space for that and be okay with it and have the capacity to welcome whatever is showing up for you? And when I first started my spiritual journey, um, I thought that when I would reach enlightenment, that everything in my life would be perfect. I wouldn't have any problems. I wouldn't have any more challenges. I would be zened out and I would feel good all the time. And so I spent the last 10 years striving for that. This idea of constantly being happy, this idea of constantly being at peace and zened out. And there were times where I would take these classes or I would do certain meditations or whatever, right? Whenever I would achieve this thing or whenever I would get to this place, then I would be fulfilled. I would be happy. I would be zened out. I would be at peace. But what I notice is that throughout my spiritual journey, it actually looks kind of a lot like this. There's highs, there's lows. You think you're making progress, and then you take 10 steps back and you keep going forward and you keep moving back. And it gets frustrating because you're like, man, I am putting a lot of time and effort into this. And some days I still feel sad. Some days I still feel depressed. And I remember one time my friend Sue said, um, spirituality doesn't have a stereotype. So I also thought that being spiritual meant this is how you would look. This is how you would act. This is how you would talk. You would talk very calmly. You would be very zen. You would dress a certain way, look a certain way. If you smoked a cigarette, you're not spiritual. If you drank alcohol, you're not spiritual. If you had a latte, you're not spiritual. Whatever these stereotypes are for what a spiritual person looks like, I also thought that that's how I was supposed to be. If I was enlightened and if I was Zen Dao, then this is how I would look. And that's what I thought spirituality was. I thought that's what I thought meditation is. And what I've come to learn and what I want to share with you all today is, for me personally, being a spiritual person or being spiritual or walking down this path of pretty much just bettering our life, um, about becoming aware how you are experiencing this moment right now. It's not so much about being perfect. Some days, to be honest with you, if I could keep it real with everyone here, some days I feel sad. And there's some moments, sometimes I feel depressed. Sometimes I feel angry. Sometimes I feel frustrated. I have noticed though that the more I've continued down this spiritual path, the less and less and less and less I feel sad or depressed or angry. But Just because I feel sad sometimes, it doesn't mean that I'm not progressing forward. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong. And that's kind of what I love about the human experience and the feelings and the emotions and the thoughts and everything that is happening. Like if you're going through a heartbreak, what you expect that you're not gonna feel sad? That you have to be zened out and at peace and be okay? No, sometimes you might feel freaking sad, right? And Ram Dass said that if you believe that you are enlightened, go and hang out with your parents for 2 weeks. Then you'll see how enlightened you are. You know, to me, every feeling and emotions and thoughts that maybe aren't the highest vibration, right? Maybe I have some negative thoughts for the day. Maybe I'm annoyed at someone and I'm thinking all these judgment thoughts. Okay? To me, spirituality and meditation is about becoming aware of what is happening in the moment. It's becoming conscious of what is happening in the moment so that you can choose to shift yourself in that moment. And every single moment, every day that you live your life, you're you're making these steps, right? You're progressing forward. Okay? You're living your life. Every day you have something going on. But if you can become consciously aware of what is happening with you in that moment, you can actually immediately shift your state of being. I think that's why Eckhart Tolle talks often about being in the present moment, right? Being in the present moment. So for me, if I'm in the present moment, I can become aware and conscious of how I am thinking, feeling, experiencing the moment. And if it's something that is not of my highest good, I can consciously make a decision in that moment. But so many of us, myself included, sometimes we're unconscious. We're not even aware that we are putting out certain energy. We're not even aware that we're putting out certain judgments. We're not even aware that we are creating this discomfort and chaos and pain in our life. So, to me, spirituality and meditation is about becoming more aware and allowing. So, the idea of also allowing, can you allow that right now this is where you are? Can you allow that in this moment you do feel stuck? In this moment you feel kind of lost. Can you allow yourself to feel this in this moment? Because the more you resist something, the more you reject something, you are saying that this is not what is. This is not happening in this reality. You're refusing that. And the more you reject something and the more you resist something, the bigger I believe that it starts to it starts to become. The more overwhelming it starts to become, the more frustrating it becomes. It's kind of like the idea if you're driving down the freeway and you hit traffic, right? And you're telling yourself, this shouldn't be it, like it shouldn't there shouldn't be any traffic. Why is there traffic? And you're getting more frustrated and more angry because you're resisting the reality of what is. And the reality of what is that you're in traffic right now. And can you allow that? Can you open up space and expand yourself to allow whatever experience is happening in this moment? And so sometimes if I wake up and I feel cranky, does that mean that I'm a bad person? Does that mean that I haven't mastered enlightenment? Does that mean that I suck? No, it just means that right now in this moment I feel cranky and it's okay. And I'm allowing myself to feel cranky in this moment and choosing what to become conscious that I feel cranky in this moment and what can I do about it? What can I do to shift that? Um in my spiritual journey, I've also learned different tools. And I feel that the more tools that we learn, the more that we can uh, handle life and challenges that come our way. But to believe and to think that we're not allowed to feel certain ways because of our judgment of it is not allowing ourselves to be. And spirituality to me is to become more of ourselves, to be okay with who we are, and to become okay with where we are in this moment. So, um, that's kind of what I want to share with everyone here today. And I feel that sometimes there's this message that success or spiritual success looks like happiness 24/7, and that we identify ourselves based on emotions that we feel. And if most of your life you felt depressed, guess what you think you are? You think that you're a depressed person. And if most of your life you identified as a happy person or happiness, you think that your identity is happiness. But are you a depressed person and are you a happy person? Is this a identification? I feel so passionate right now. Like, is this a part of our identity that you identify yourself based on how you feel? No. These are this is not you are not a depressed person. You are not a happy person. These are feelings and emotions and thoughts and experiences that we go through, right? It's like if you took a trip to Hawaii on a vacation for 2, 3 days, right? Are you now a Hawaiian? You know, are you sometimes you might have a certain amount of money or um, success. And then let's say now it's taken away. Are you now less successful? Even though you have learned all of these tools and you have learned and experienced all of these great things in your life, are you now not a successful person because of your circumstances? Oftentimes, we identify ourselves based on our experiences of life. And sometimes I have clients who identifies themselves as a victim because of certain things that has happened to them in their life. They say, I'm I'm someone I'm identified as like a bullied person, or I'm identified as a loser, or I'm identified as someone who isn't smart, who doesn't really know anything. And then there's and then sometimes you identify it as like, "Oh, I'm a gorgeous person. I'm a beautiful person. I'm a pretty person, or I'm this or I'm that," right? But are all those things or any of those things actually true? Are any of those things actually who you are? So I believe that a spiritual journey and process and even meditation helps us to become aware of who you really are, and that in every given moment you are allowed to feel a certain way. You are allowed to be whoever you are in that moment. And I wanted to come on today to share that with you so that um, that it's not about being perfect. It's about allowing yourself to just be yourself in this moment, to become aware of who you are, to become consciously aware of that. And in and the art of welcoming it, allowing it. And the idea of allowing something is not to become passive about it. It's not saying, "Oh, I'm just going to sit back and do nothing." That's not what allowing is. Allowing is um, giving it the attention and space that it needs in this moment. Allowing something is welcoming what is in this moment. And when you can do that, you can also choose to release it, to let it go. You can um, comfort yourself in those moments, as opposed to resisting it because you're denying yourself. If you resist something, you're denying yourself. Does anybody have any questions about this? Um, I think, yeah, I feel very passionate about this because for many years of my life, I thought that I was failing or I wasn't doing a good job in my spiritual practice whenever I would feel depressed. And I would get into a state of depression. I'd be like, man, I've been putting in so much work and effort and I still feel depressed. or I feel sad right now, or that things aren't happening the way it's supposed to happen. And so if you are in this space too and you feel um like you have a setback, or you feel stuck, or you feel frustrated in any way, ask yourself, can you become aware of it and allow yourself to have this experience right now? Because the more that you can to be allow yourself to accept what is in this moment, the more that you can choose to have a different kind of experience too. Um yeah, and I feel really strongly passionate about this because um I think in our society and even within the spiritual community, there's this stereotype and there's this pressure of like being at peace all the time or being perfect all the time, and that's not true. That's not true at all, and that's not how I believe that it should look. It's about just allowing yourself to just be as you are. Um Someone here on YouTube is saying, um I know the next steps in I know the next steps I'm meant to take in my journey, but depression has made it difficult for me to take those steps. This really helps. I'm really glad that this is helping you. Um, yeah, and I remember for a very long time, whenever I would feel depressed, I would be in denial that I was depressed, feeling depressed, um, and that's not very helpful for me because if I just become aware that I am depressed, I can actually make decisions to better that. Maybe I need to create a gratitude journal. Maybe I need to go out into the sun more. Maybe I need to pick up a hobby, go hiking, whatever I need to do to feel better in that moment. But to deny that I am depressed in this moment is to deny my experience of whatever I'm going through. And that is just creating more depression. Um, Someone else on YouTube is saying, "I guess we associate I guess we associate the spiritual path with happiness and full of success in all areas of our life, but at the end is a journey that as humans we do not end to know. It is beyond the human understanding." I think that I have to say though that in my spiritual path, in my spiritual journey, um as I continue, and this has been for 10 years now, I do become I have less low energy vibration experiences though. I have to admit. Not that I don't feel low sometimes, I have less experiences like that. So as you continue down this path, for me in my experience, um that I am more at peace and I am more joyful and I am more fulfilled and I am more content. Um but it's because I've worked at it. I've worked the muscle to hold the space for me to be in that comfort. Um, and it takes time to shift. If you've been depressed, for example, or stuck for many years of your life, and you start to identify as a depressed person, or that you're stuck, it takes some time to shift into the comfort of being at peace or content. It takes some time to shift there. But the more you work at this, the more you work at your spiritual growth, um, the more you work at it, for me in my experience, the less low energy vibrations I have experienced. So it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, but it does become less. Um, yeah, and someone here on TikTok is saying finding the wisdom in dark and light. Yeah, I like that. Um, so what's something that you've been experiencing in your life um, that you find yourself judging or resisting in your life? What's something that's going on for you in your life that you are resisting or judging that can open up the awareness more? You can allow that experience to happen. Just when I think I'm healed, I get triggered and I realize I have more healing and work to do. Yeah. Yeah, um I know the feeling that when you think that you're healed, then you get triggered again. And I think that healing is a lifelong journey. Spirituality is also a lifelong journey. Um, Expanding and growing and becoming more conscious is a lifelong journey. I do believe, though, in my personal experience, that um, once you do kind of this bulk work of releasing the gunk out of you, it's kind of like a deep cleanse, which is what some people would call the shadow work, which is also kind of like the healing. When you do the big bulk of it, I have noticed though uh, that the healing after that becomes more maintenance and becomes a lot easier. Okay, someone here on YouTube is saying that sometimes they resist change and resist progression. Yeah, resist change and resist progression. Yeah, and if you find yourself resisting something, ask yourself, why are you fighting yourself to keep whatever it is that you're resisting to be true? That could also bring some insight too. Okay. Um, let's see here. I'm gonna tune into the energy of the group and see what else we got to do here for today. Nope, that seems about it today. Monday motivation and Monday meditation. Um, I hope everyone is having a great Monday. I'll be here again Tuesday from noon Pacific Standard Time. Well, I'll be here Monday through Thursday, noon Pacific Standard Time. So, uh, come and join this community where all junk is welcome. You know, bring your baggage, bring your energy, whatever it is, high, low, whatever. Um, Come and join this community where we expand our consciousness, where we talk about everything spiritual, where we meditate together and manifest together. Um, I have to say though, in my spiritual journey, it was very lonely when I did this by myself. But when I found a community of people who are also on the same path, it just made things so much more fun. And I noticed my progression forward and wider, like my expansion was also wider too. So, um, if you would like to do healings or shadow work here, come and join this community. We'll be here every Monday through Thursday. So I will talk to you all very soon. Bye bye.